Welcome to Lori's DIY Life. This is Lori. What I want to do right now is make a card using just the vintage Crafter's Companion vintage collection. I've chosen this paper and I think I'm going to use this part. I have this card from Crafter's Companion. Now I'm going to wait and get my pieces and put them on before I cut this paper because I don't want to waste this paper. I've gone ahead and I've die cutted these out of this one. And I've colored them with my alcohol markers. I've gone ahead and I've die cutted the Santa and I'm getting ready to stamp him. And then if you want, I'm using I thought this was open. I'm sorry. I'm using my quick dry because supposedly they are alcohol proof. That's what they say anyway. So we're going to give them a shot. Now, I already cut this out, and usually I don't. Usually I stamp first. And I wanted to just kind of try this to make sure that supposedly some people like to do this better. But then I gotta hold it down with something, so that's going to interfere with that area. And I hope this stamp is right. I'm going to try to get a nice even stamp on it. Okay, we're missing a little bit of the hat. I don't know if I need it to re-ink it or not. Nope, it's good. And then of course, very carefully, let me try to get that spot good. And then very carefully, let me try to get this spot. Good, it worked. Okay. So that was not bad. Gonna put this stamp on here so I don't lose it. And put it away. All the stickiness in these things. And this needs to go this up here. So you can see the stamp. Okay. Let me get my paper. Cover my ink pad. And I am ready to color him in. Alright. I've got red, gray, brown on the tri-blends. I think I'm going to go in with the red first, and I'm going to kind of cheat and look. I'm going to do my light first. I just don't want it to look like a straight line around his beard. That's why I was doing that. And I'm just going to do this sleeve part first while this is still wet. I'm going to go under where his beard is because there would be a little shadow there. And I hit there. and that was with the dark. Then I'm going to go with the medium and go around where the dark and the light meet. The color I'm using is dark red blend. Okay, and now I'm going to go back with the light and just kind of color all of it back in with the light. Okay, now I'll do the rest of the sleeve. And I'm going to take a little dark right here. Just a touch of it there. Just a touch. And then I'm going to go with the medium. Where those met. I'm going to go in. And then back with the light. The reason I'm doing it in such small sections is so that the ink is still wet, and that'll make it blend better. Okay, now I'm going to come here. I'm not going to worry too much about this little piece. And here. Okay. I'm going to take the dark and just a tiny bit under the arm, and then in the folds, and then to the medium, and just where they meet. And then back with the light. Just blend it in. Okay, now I'm going to go on this side. Now, because I've got the shadow coming from the top, this part here, to me, is not going to have a lot of shadow, but it is still going to have some, because there's something over that part, right, of his suit. So I'm going to still put, and that's just my view, you know, you got to put your own interpretation when you're doing this of how it would be, but I'm going to say under the belt we're going to have a pretty good shadow, but here by the fizz, which you know, the trim, we're just going to have a little bit. Okay, and then with the medium, and you don't know how your blending is going until it dries, so you have to give it time and wait. That's the hardest part, is waiting for that alcohol to evaporate. I might go in a little bit more, because I don't want that trim part to be too dark there. Okay, now I'm going to go here. and kind of do the same thing. So I'm going to go with the dark. I'm going to do a pretty good line right here. We've got some creases, so I'm going to hit that. A little under the button. Just a few little tags here. Okay, now the medium. Do I talk too much when I do this, or what? I just want you to know what I'm thinking, so you know why I'm doing what I'm doing. But everybody has their own way. So, now the cap. Trying to see if that's cap on here. I think it is. And then that's beard, okay. Okay, then I'm gonna go with the dark. We're gonna have some here, here, just a little bit, just like that trim, and then maybe a little on that line there. It's a medium, and kind of blend it in. Okay, and back with the light. Since I've got the red out, I'm gonna go ahead and hit some of these with the red. Okay. And you get to where you can kind of start to see on his shirt, the top, the little bit of dark. I didn't do a lot of shading on him, and I can go back and do more if I want. And see how in the hat you really can't see the shading yet, but up here where I started, you can start to see. But he's not like really in a red spot. Uh-oh. I missed it. Look there. Okay. The light. Then the dark. And here where we got the shade. And under here. Then the medium. And then back to the light. And if you want more shading, you can definitely do more shading. Okay, now I'm going to do his bag. So I'm going to start with the light. And when I did those two, I guess they're an edgeable. I didn't do a lot of blending because everything's so small. I just kind of put color down on it. That's why I really didn't show you me coloring that, because I figured I'd show this. And you're supposed to keep paper underneath it because the ink will soak down through the paper. And so you want a paper there to kind of absorb it. I've never had to really go all the way through, but you don't want it to come back up if it does. That's what they say. Okay, and I'm going to take the dark, and I'm just going to take the lines and stuff. And hit those pretty good. And I might do here a little, and maybe along here. Kind of doing more on the bag. Don't know if it's possible, but I kind of want to make it seem more like it, if it could be suede, or like a brown velvet or something like that. So I want the blending to be just a little bit thicker on it. Okay, now I'm going to go back with the light. Let's see how that turns out. Now I don't really have black right now with me. So I've got this gray, and I'm going to take the dark gray and use that on his belt. And I'm not really going to do any shading on this. I'm just going to color it. Now if I follow this, kind of looks like his belt buckle. Maybe it's gold, but it kind of looks a little brown. So I'm going to use the light brown. The light brown. And I hope that black is dried enough. That it doesn't end up on the marker. Okay, now I want to do, what did I do with those colors? Yeah, I'm going to do his face, but I couldn't really find what's the word, flush tone. So I'm just going to take this color. Okay, in the picture they got his glasses, skin tone color. This. Okay. I might have got his beard a little bit. But I don't want it to stay yellow, so I'm going to put a little bit of the closest to pink I had with me. And hope it mixes enough to make it look like a flesh tone. What do you think? It's still too yellow to look flesh. I could go with a little bit of a darker. Scared of that. Well, I guess I could come back and lighten it with the lighter. And then for the little lips here, where his lips would be, I just want to go with the darker. This is a coral tone. That's why I'm like, this could just be bad. Okay, so I'm going back in with the light to try to lighten it a little bit. We won't know until it dries. A little more. Take some of the coral here. Oh, that was the red, darn it. No, that's the coral, believe it or not. That's that dark coral. Let me lighten it. Okay. Some of this gold yellow. I'm not going to put a lot into the... I will put a little bit more on his skin. That might make it look more skin tony. Okay. Now to make the white look like white on purpose, right? Here's what we gotta do. Take your lightest gray that you got. That's the dark, here's the light. And add in a few lines. A little definition here and there. Just so that kind of comes alive. Where the different places and spots meet that. Shoulder. So it's still staying white, but it's giving it that's a white glove on there, and it kind of confused me there for a second. So they've got this red. So I'm going to go back with the red and make mine red. You know, sometimes it's hard to tell by these things. Oh, that's what there we go. Okay, so now our Santa's done. Well, that took me a while, didn't it? Okay. The paper I want to use is this right here. So it's going to be here. So these, I was thinking down here with the Santa up here. Now, is that going to look good? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to take the light gray. Make sure that's the light. And go around the Santa Claus, because he's just too... Boy, this is not the light gray I wanted, that's for sure. But anyways. It's usually, you're usually shooting for a real soft kind of gray. So, and for me, I kind of start up and go down when I come back to this part, you know, where you're on the other side, because it's always easier for me to go down than to try to go up. Okay. It kind of just gives him a little something more. Okay, so now I need my paper cutter. And you know what? I'm going to put these away before I start losing things. Okay, my paper cutter. And this should be a 5x7, but I want to always make sure. Okay, 5x7. So I'm going to kind of keep my paper close to that. I'm going to look and see how much of it I'm going to get on air. Then I'm going to go backwards. Well, I thought I was going to go backwards. But I do want to... So there's the 5, so it would cut right here. I like that, but do I want to keep a little bit? I do want to keep a little bit. So I'm going to go 4 and 7/8. And that'll give me an 8 all the way around. Okay. So now you know how I figure my sizes out kind of sometimes. So not always. Sometimes I just go for it, but 6 and 7/8. That should be perfect. When the paper's this pretty, and you know you want to make the best out of it, you be careful with it, right? Gotta be. So it's just a little bit of a white border. And here's the Santa here's these. Now, why did I want 2 rows of them? I don't know, because it looked good on the picture. What do you think? I could do it this way. I could do it this way. That's what we'll do. But then we're covering up that pretty top right there. What do we think? Should we just do that? I think I kind of like the bushy here on the bottom. I just needed to lay them closer together, I think. So that's what I'm going to do. So first I'm going to put Santa down. Man, I cut these out and, they're inedgeable, so you got to kind of do the bottom yourself unless you want it straight edged, and I just kind of wanted it a little bit playful. But I thought about the paper chain from yesterday, and I thought, ooh, if these were on both sides, that would be nice. But I guess you could do one way and one the other way and make the chain so. Anyways. I don't know if you could tell how tired I was yesterday, man. It was so tired. It was a long day for me. Okay, there's Santa. Now I could mount it again and put some colored paper and make it the exact paper of, but with the white edging on this, and they're probably going to see some white on this. I want the top on the bottom or on the top. There's it on the bottom. Yeah. Okay, let me put the first one down. So I'm hoping to get 2 videos today for you. I do have to work. I'm working from home, so I'm just starting a little late so I can get this video done. I don't know why I'm putting so much glue. I kind of wanted it to be able to come up a little bit and, mess with it and be a little free flow in here. Let's see. And I'm going to have to come back and trim these sides a little bit. Well, unless they fit right on the card, then I won't have to. But I think they were a little tiny bit long. See, I didn't want it to be stuck that much, but that's alright. We'll do that to this one. Now this one I do have to have the bottom down good. And I'm just gonna stick some glue every once in a while and let it be a little bit more free to move. There we go. That looks cute. I could have done a better job coloring it probably next time I would. Okay, now it goes on the card. Man, this paper is just so pretty, I just can't get over it. I don't know if anybody's ever found it anywhere else. No other places had it, but from what I've heard and seen from everybody everywhere they go, it's sold out, so. I watch Crafters Companion, Crafters TV, and there's a lady on there. She'll buy up a whole bunch of paper, like 10 stacks of paper and stuff. And I think to myself, and even with normal ones, you know, that, I mean, Crafters Companion, and a lot of their stuff is super nice, but, she'll get like 10, 15, whatever, and I thought, I wonder how many of these she got, especially after she saw them. I'm sure she had to keep ordering them, you know. She's that much of a paper fiend. When can you ever use that much, though? But you know, if that's your thing, go for it, I guess. I just don't see the reason to have it just sitting, and then, you know, if she's ordering that much of it, she's got to be keeping a bunch of it, right? Now I could put a sentiment on it, but I'm not going to. This has the song "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" in the background. That can be the sentiment. And then I've got the notebook, you know, with the Christmas things. So then I would just take and stamp one of those in here. Trim this little bit off the edge. Like I said, I was going to have to do. Oh, I didn't get that very straight. I thought I did. And see that tacky glue is dry already. Oh man, that's too bad. Okay. So I'm just going to take and cut along the card because I don't mind it going off my mat. Even this is kind of hanging over the card. I'm going to leave it because it still looks cute. So there we go. He is the cutest Santa. He's not that much to color in, and it's a nice collection. And you know, they have, I don't know if there's corner dies that go with this or not, but I know they have some. I just wanted to do a fairly simple one. I wanted to color a little bit and just let you all see the making, so you can see my blending now. See, it went a little heavier on the back. It didn't really make it look like anything else, but I was hoping it would, but it didn't. And then we got his suits all blended. His flesh tone didn't turn out too bad. Maybe a little darker than I would have wanted. Put a little blue twinkle in his eye. Those Nuvo drops, I wonder if that would be asking too. Ooh, Nuvo drops on these. Oh, see? I don't know. I'll mess it up. I always do that, don't I? Okay, I'm going to start right here. Thank you, everybody. If you like my video, hit the subscribe button and that thumbs up. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified when I do a new video. Oh man. And don't forget, 100 subscribers. Ooh. And we have the giveaway at 100. Moving up, but not enough. So, thank you all for joining me, and I hope you join me for my next one.